we were talking about Shane Mosley in this article. You just said you were concerned in what you would say to him because you didn't want to violate any protective order, correct?
That's just something I've been careful about in all cases, including Shane Mosley, since almost the beginning of the case.
So and you also said you think it's unlikely that you would have said what's in here because you would have been concerned about the protective order, correct?
Once again, once something is in the public domain and it's been detailed in other places, then that is something that I could probably talk about.
Okay. So, and again, so your recollection sitting here today, 2.5 years after the fact, or almost 3, your recollection is that there was a Sports Illustrated article that identified that identified the date that Shane started, the drugs he was using, and the fact that the calendar had SM.
I'm not sure of the exact date.
Well, but you said you did say July 26th in this article. Are you saying that Mr. Pugmire may have misquoted you?
I'm saying that information may have been public knowledge.
Yeah, but he was asking you at the time. I mean, are you saying that...
that's what I recalled at the time.
Are you saying that Mr. Pugmire... I mean, you know Mr. Pugmire for a long time, right?
Yeah, I think he's a buddy of Shane Mosley's, is what I think.
Do you consider him to be a careful reporter?
I think Lance is a good reporter.
Yeah. Do you have any reason to believe that he would inaccurately quote you?
I have been inaccurately quoted by a number of reporters, so I think it's certainly possible.
So, certainly, the statement you had access to the boxing doping calendars and lab results, that was true because they were in your attorney's office, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then, in your view, they support your claims, right?
Well, that's the gist of the Sports Illustrated article, is that he was doping. That's what they put out there. That's my understanding.
So what your claim...
Hold on, let him finish.
Are you testifying here that all you were doing when you said Conte says he has access to the boxers' doping calendars and lab results, which he said help support his claims, all you were doing was reporting what had been... You were just telling him what he could read in Sports Illustrated?
In general, yes.
Okay.
The specifics, I can't, like you say, this has been almost 3 years ago, so it's my recollection.
All right. And what was your recollection? By the way, there came a time when there were calendars revealed from Balco that had BB on it. Remember?
I don't recall that there was BB. I may have read about this, but I don't recall seeing any calendars, no.
You don't recall references to BB, which you said didn't necessarily mean Bobby Bonds making public statements to that effect?
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds. You don't recall making public statements to that effect?
To what effect?
That the fact that there were BB references on a calendar didn't mean it was Barry Bonds?
I may or may not have said that, and I would still believe that today.
So BB you wouldn't know, but SM you would know was Shane Mosley.
Well, I would know because the SM is in my handwriting.
And again, and we'll take a break because I want to get the answer to this. Go ahead, just have them. We'll get the Sports Illustrated article. Do it later. We'll move on. Okay, hold on. I don't think I need it. Is there just some other stuff I wanted to look at? I don't need to do this manuscript stuff. Doesn't really do anything for me. Now, just to be clear, looking at, did we see, where's exhibit, is this exhibit 5 that he has a copy of?
Yeah, that's a copy of exhibit 5
And before we get to look at exhibit 5, how many vials were there needed for the clear and the cream?
Boy, that's a very general question.
Well,
what,
for the
what?
For the Mosley program.
For the Mosley program. Could have been 1 vial.
For both?
For both what?
1 clear and 1 cream?
It could have been. I believe that he took 3/10 of a cc on the syringe, and if he did it twice a week for 5 weeks, that would be 10, and the plastic screw top container would hold 7 cc, and then the standard amount would be 3 cc, so he would take 1/10 of that each dose and take, so possibly it was 1 vial.
Okay, because if we look at paragraph 5, exhibit 5, and we go to paragraph 11, you see there it starts with the cost of the drug program?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See that paragraph?
Yes, I do.
And you write, you talk about the cost and you say 900 for the EPO, 600 for the cream. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
600 for the clear and the cream. And then you said, at the last sentence, Mr. Mosley, Mr. Hudson, and I agreed that Mr. Mosley and Mr. Hudson should not carry the drugs on the airplane flight back to Southern California. So I shipped them via Federal Express to Mr. Hudson. That's not completely true. That's not a completely true statement, is it?
No. Upon further reflection and review of the calendars, I realized that the drugs that needed to be refrigerated or on ice and that required syringes were sent, and because he needed to take the cream the following day, that they took the clear and the cream with them, and that's when the issue of using flaxseed oil as a cover story was discussed.
Well, when did you just for the first time remember that the clear and the cream had gone on the airplane with them?
Sometime after I reviewed and signed this, after further review of the calendar.